Today we are doing a beef, tomato and cheese pie. That's right, who knew you can have pie on keto? But before we get into the recipe, I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Welcome to our keto community. And if you haven't subscribed yet, a little about me. I scour the internet finding the lowest possible carb recipes for my keto friends. And this week we are going to be covering a series on all things pies, fillings, crusts, you name it, including our zero carb pie crust, and we've got two options for you, and we've got some fillings. But today, let's get into this beef, tomato and cheese pie.
This pie is a great make-ahead meal, and after we go through the recipe, I will show you the results after it was defrosted so you can see for yourself, and also the family will enjoy it too. To make the beef and tomato filling, firstly dice a 1/4 cup of onion, and if you have fresh garlic you will need to finely dice 1 teaspoon's worth of garlic. That is the total amount of prep work you need to do for the filling. Head over to the stove now and set your burners to medium. Melt 2 tablespoons of butter and saute the onions until they are translucent. I forgot to add my garlic, but please do add 1 teaspoon of garlic now, and then add 1 1/4 pounds or 566 grams of ground beef. I'm just showing you the meat I chose is not lean. The white bits in the meat is fat. I choose fatty meat because it really helps in achieving my fat goal. Okay, break up the meat, and now we're going to season the dish further with 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of basil, 1 tablespoon of pepper, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Herbs and spices do dry up the dish, so next add a 1/2 cup of water. Then add 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. And here I'm just giving it another stir to break up the meat further, and also to let my herbs combine with the meat. Close the pot now and let the meat cook for 10 minutes, still on medium heat. I found a really good passata at just 5.3 grams of carbs, so I added a 1/2 cup. And if you don't know, passata is just tomato sauce used in cooking. Stir in the passata, close the pot, turn down the heat to a medium-low, and let that gently simmer for another 15 minutes. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you find value in the information provided in this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on all the new recipes I have coming up. Also hit that notification bell so you know when I've posted a new recipe. The nutritional information and shopping list is available in the description box. Let's now make the zero carb pie crust. It's so quick and easy. We will literally be throwing all the ingredients into the bowl, then mixing either in the stand mix like I am, or you can mix it by hand. To a bowl, add 3/4 of a cup or 105 grams of almond flour, a 1/4 cup or 35 grams of coconut flour, a 1/4 cup or 50 grams of flax seeds, and here you can see I just ground mine to get a finer texture because I only had seeds on hand. You can also use a 1/4 cup of sesame seeds if you don't have flax seeds, but I use flax seeds to help achieve the zero carb count. Next, add 1 tablespoon of psyllium husk powder, 1 pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 large egg at room temperature, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and our last ingredient is a 1/4 cup of water. Mix that on speed 2 or 4 using the paddle attachment until the dough comes together. We need to set the oven now to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius and prepare the pan. For a moment, let's talk about your options for the baking pan. I'm going to show you 3. If you're using a 9-inch springform pan or a pie dish, grease the base and the sides with olive oil, then line the base with parchment or baking paper. If you're making pies to freeze in bulk, you will need to use these aluminum disposable ones. I chose these deep dish ones from the dollar store, and all you need to do is grease the base and the sides with olive oil. We are going to work the dough now, and when you do, grease your hands with olive oil so the dough doesn't stick to your hands, and it will make the dough easier to work with. The dough will feel very much like Play-Doh. To roll out the dough, place the dough between 2 pieces of parchment or baking paper, and I just oiled it first, but this is only optional. Then place over the dish and let the dough take the shape of the dish. Press the dough into the dish, and you will need a little patience trying to get the dough to be even on all sides. I used a flat surface, aka my measuring cup, coated in olive oil to get an even thickness for my crust, and then when I was happy with the evenness of the sides, I cut the edge just to get a very neat looking pie. If you can't be bothered with rolling it out, or you don't have a rolling pin, you can break it up in the pan and just work your way through, flattening it like I'm showing you here. I found it did take me longer. Still, do use a flat surface coated in olive oil to get an even thickness for the crust, and when you're happy with the sides, cut an even edge just to get a neat looking pie. Regardless of the method you choose, our last step would be to dock the base of the pie so you can let the pie breathe in the oven. Then bake the pie for 15 minutes. When you take it out of the oven, you can fill it immediately as the crust is not fussy at all. Your beef tomato filling should be ready now, so add the mixture into the pie casing and spread it evenly. Then add a half a cup of ricotta cheese and spread that evenly, and sprinkle salt over the ricotta because ricotta can be quite bland. Lastly, for the topping, spread 1 cup of cheddar and garnish with basil and oregano. Then bake in the oven at the same temperature, 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius for 35 minutes, and voila! I let the pie cool for about 10 minutes and then it's ready. This pie freezes really well and would be great as a make-ahead meal. You would make it in the disposable aluminium pie containers and make the completed pie right up to the last step, which is the melted cheese. I purposely froze half of the pie for the freezing test because I needed to see how the pie was affected on the inside. Let it cool completely, then wrap it in foil and freeze. For me, it took about 4 hours for the pie to defrost, but this is going to be completely dependent on the weather, I guess. When ready, take it out of the aluminium foil container and place on a plate. Then heat in the microwave and enjoy. I heated 1 slice for 1 minute and this is how it looks. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this video and get to make this delicious keto beef, tomato and cheese pie. Stay safe and be well.